In this video, we'll see how to apply a makeup to a character with texture paint. So here what we have is a head that comes from, as usual, Blender demo files here that you can find over there. I did just use a basic toon head, maybe from this character here. Maybe I did change a little the topology to make it look more natural with the hairs that I did create myself with for another character. So I just provide the hairs like this. You can see and have a look is just some basic curves, okay? A little the same techniques that we did use to create ornaments, okay, but to create some hairs. And yeah, have a look how it's made. It's always interesting. I have some materials as well that are interesting to look. The render look like this, okay? So you will have the more understanding on these techniques here to create nice hairs and nice shaders into it as well. But we will focus on the head here, and for that we will just go into shading. Basically, first of all, we have to create a new texture. So let's go into that. We will create, let's say, makeup. Okay. And or you can call it with the name of your character or whatever. Here I will just choose 2048, and I can choose already a basic color that can help me for that. So let's choose maybe a skin color, creating like this, a light pink, something like this, and I will create this new image. So now I can click and drag this makeup over there and put it into the color shader, just like that. Okay, and now we can see that we have already a basic color, but it looks flat. We want something a little more natural. We want something looks like that looks like a little like Pixar or DreamWorks character, like basic 3Ds toon shading. And here we will go into texture paint for that. So what we can do, we can paint even in rendered view if needed. Not the rendered, but the viewport shading if needed. Sometimes it can be good to see the eyes the eyes colors and the real shaders of the other objects. Sometimes it can be good, or you can just make your color like that. Okay. First of all, we need to go with the paint, maybe soft, if we have a paint soft. So yeah, if you didn't make this color well in the beginning, you can still change the color by going here and choose another color to fill the entire character. Okay, if I click and drag, I will fill my entire character just like that. Okay, but this is not what I want to do. Here I have a basic color that looks fine for me, so I can play with that. It will be okay. Be careful with the options here when you choose to fill an entire character like this. It's always good to verify that here the edges will be well treated. Like for example, here you can go into the options. So it might be into the advanced, I guess, into the options over there, and you can increase the bleed. Okay, so here you have the edges. Sometimes when you zoom out, it can appear that the edges will show, but the islands will show themselves. It's not the case here, but be careful of that. Sometimes you have to increase the bleed. Okay, let's say I will take 6 pixels. If I make a fill over there, you can see that now I will have a kind of margin over the islands that will prevent some problems. Okay. Anyway, it's just in case you didn't choose the good color in the beginning, but for us we will just go with the paint tool over there. So what we would like to add some variations into this color, to not have only a flat color like this, it will not look natural. So we will take this color as a basic. So what you can do, you can click and use here the eyedropper. So like this, you can sample just like that this color, and you will work with the palette. So let's go with the palette and let's make our first color. It will be the basic one, and we can come back into it always. You can as well copy and paste just by Ctrl C, Ctrl V. What I like to do is always add a secondary color like this, that is the basic. Like this, if I paint with another color, let's say, if I paint like that, I can control paint and remove if needed, as you can see, okay? So can be useful to work like that. What you can do as well is add some variation. So let's come back to the basic color and let's play with some variation. So what I will do, I will just go into this one and we will decrease the value just slightly, okay? And we will add a new one and we will decrease the value again and add a new one if needed. Okay, good. Now I would like other variations as well, maybe more pink to make the lips maybe, and yeah, so let's go with that. I come back with the original and I will go with something that goes more into the red values over there, okay? And I will maybe increase a little the saturation and decrease a little the value over there to have something like this. And I add this color. And again, I add another one, maybe with more saturation and more pinkish value with the hue to go somewhere over there. Maybe this can be good for the lipstick, this one, okay? And add something like that. What else? We will need a black, so the black is easy to add, just like this, and just one like that. We need some blue as well. Maybe we want some eye shade like this over there, that we can, like this, it will be the same kind of colors that you have for the hairs and the eyebrows as well, and the eyes as well, because in rendered view it looks like this, okay? So let's go with a kind of blue color, and for this we will just increase that, go into the blue somewhere here. You can play with your needs over there. Okay, good. And we add one just like that. Now I think that we have more or less what we want, and let's go for painting. So we will just use the basic symmetry here, like this. If I paint on a side, it will appear on the other side. We will use here the really soft. I want something soft to start to paint, because I just want to make some variations, very soft variations in the beginning. So first of all, let's go into that, and to have something really soft and to not add too much, because you can see that if I just take this one, for example, and click and drag, it will be really strong. So what I do here, I just decrease the strength, like 0.1 might be enough to make some little variations over there. More I click, more I will add some colors like that. So what can happen is that you have around the eyes a little of darkness. So here we will add some of the darkness like this. Just really carefully, just not too much, okay? You can see it appear over there. Not that much, but just to add some little shading like this. We can make a little the same around the nose to make this kind of effect over there. So as you can see, it's really little and it's not that much, but you will see that it will add some nice variations into it. You can make the same over there, maybe. Okay, and what you can do if you see the lines too much, like for example this one over there, you can go here in the smear tool and just click and drag and smear that to have something that is softer and that you will not see that much like this. So you just click and drag and play with this option to smear that. You can, like this, make it more natural. Okay, good. So now that we have this, maybe I will just add a little like that there. Okay. And now that we have this, we can just continue with the other colors. So let's come back into the paint. So with that one, and I will increase some parts that will be a little more red. So more pink like this. Again, with not too much, just a little. So maybe the size of the nose a little, like that. But really with really not strong values over there. It can appear too much. Okay, over there as well, a little here. So now you can see this kind of result here. It's what we want. Not that much. So I can, with control click, remove a little in some parts. Okay, with control click anyway, I use this one, so I can remove a little if needed to make it softer. Good. So now we have something that looks a little more natural. If I come back there, I can see a little the result here. It doesn't look effective because I have to save the image here. So if I don't save it, I will not see the result. So I go to image and save as first because I need to save it somewhere. So makeup here, I will save as image. Okay. Now in rendered view, it should appear a little more. Okay. So it's not that really strong in rendered view. If I increase that, maybe a little more like this. Okay, good. So now let's go into this and continue a little. I will add more darkness over there. Good for that. And again, we can add some soft parts like this to make our shading more interesting. Just to add a little variation in some parts. Okay. So now we come back into here, we see more the result here. And here we would like to make the lips. So let's go with this color, and to make the lips, I go in front view, in orthographic view, and like this I will have more control. So what I can do, I can just paint like this without maybe the option of fall off, normal fall off, that I will remove, and I will paint the lips like this, maybe with something a little less soft. So I will go with a paint hard and maybe with 0.5. We will see how it looks when I do that. It's far too strong. So maybe 0.2, 0.4. Yeah, and I will add more and more, but maybe 0.4 will work well. Okay, let's go with that. So what you can do, for example, you have a strength at 0.4 here, and when you paint, okay, more you will paint, more it will add. And maybe sometimes you don't want that because it will create some crazy things here over there, as you can see. What you can do for that, if you want to come back with this original, let's say after 2 strokes, you are happy of the color here, okay? So what you can do, you know that it's this color that you want. You go there. You pick the color. It's slightly different, this one. And you add it here to that one. And like this, you are sure that you will not cross this value over there, even by clicking a lot, okay? So what we can do, we can just click and drag like this. and start to create a nice shape that you can anyway come back to it in the end. Okay, so we will just want to create a shape like that, a little more over there, maybe on top. Good. And now we can just with control erase the parts that we will not use and that looks not natural. So let's make a nice curve over there. Again, we can clean up this line here that is not beautiful. Okay, what you can do as well is use the smear to make the line more natural. So sometimes it looks good like this. Okay, and maybe with something less big like that. And with the smear you can really control the line over there, so it can be very good to use that. Okay, and that it will look more natural. So here we have the basic color for the lips. That's good. And now maybe we would like to make lines around the eyes like this. So what we will use, we will come back into our original here, draw sharp, okay, paint hard. And what we will do, we'll use the totally black color here. We will go into the stroke and we would like to use the stabilized stroke. So you have two methods that can work. You go in front view and you can draw your curve if needed. So let's go and make the first method with the curve. Okay, let's say we want to use this technique and we create a new curve, and with control right click, I will just click and drag here what I want to use like this and make some nice curve. With control right click again, I will add more. I will add one here and add one here. Okay, just to control really the line that you want to make, just like that. Okay, and now you can draw your curve just like this. And what is create, it's because of the strength, I guess, the size of it. And you can just enter, click enter, you will see the result over there. Okay, so like this you are sure that you follow well the curve that you did, and it's very easy to make it like this. So let's make the other method on the bottom over there. So what I will do, I will go into my just space here, and with the stabilized stroke I will try with the mouse. It will be easier with the tablet here, but you can just click and drag like this and control more or less the stroke very easily with this method over there. Okay, you can see that it works pretty well to not make some sharp strokes like that. Okay, so we have basically what we want. We could add a little more texture into it just by using the stabilized stroke again, maybe by doing this. Okay, maybe we can make something like that. Okay, depends of what you want to do for your character. And with the right click, now I can just erase the parts that I don't want to use like that. So maybe it will be something like this more. Or I will just erase that one, maybe it's too long. Yeah, just to have a nice one over there. Good. So now we have our basic makeup around the eyes, and now we would like to add some shades. So let's go into that here with the blue values. So we will come back to another one. So it will be like this. Again, we want something very soft. So we will go with that, with the paint soft and with a very low strength. So I will maybe start with the black here. And I will add just, first of all, some darkness above the eyes, like this. And then I will add some blue, just like that. Okay, and again, I can come back with the smear if needed to make it less prominent over there. And basically you will have the shape that you want, okay? So here you can see the result now in rendered view. That will look far better, especially if I use a good light over there. This one's not that good. Yeah, maybe that one with less strength. You can see more the results. So, okay, you can see already how it will look. And you can even add more character into it. Like, for example, let's add some freckles here. So for that, it's very easy. You just go there. You choose maybe the color like this or like that, depending on what you want. Anyway, we'll use this one and increase the strength, I guess. I will use something with a hard one over there. So if I paint now on this, how it will look. Okay, it will look like this. So it's not that bad for what we want. And maybe we'll have 2 layers of freckles. So for that, we want something that is little. Okay, like this, it will create little dots like this. We don't want the stabilized stroke. So we just want little dots over there. Even less big. So with F, I even decrease the value there, the size of it. Okay, looks good. And I want to use the jitter, increase the jitter. And now if I make a stroke, I will have this. It's not that bad, but it's too, maybe here we can play with the number of pixels. Yeah, it will be easier to manage. So like this, I can really just click and drag. I just have to find the right value. Yeah, something like that looks cool. And the ratio here to add less. Yeah, looks better like this. Okay. I will decrease the strength, like 0.3 might be enough. And you see that now I have a brush to add some nice little freckles. So here, maybe the size might look a little too big even. So I will go with 2. Maybe 3 will be perfect. Yeah, and you can add over there. Okay. And you have the little freckles. So be careful to paint in front of you with this. And turn around the character to add some, okay? And now you have the finished result over there. So you can see that it's really powerful to play with that. And you can paint entire characters if needed. So don't hesitate to make these exercises again and again. So this was for applying a makeup to a character. Here we will paint with an image into the next video.